All right, Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto are in a do or die moment here. This is looking really dangerous. This is looking really serious. And if Bitcoin happens to pull a miracle here and make a big bounce here and surprise everyone, which can still happen, which coins or which narrative do you think is going to run really hard, right? That's what we're going to review today. A couple of coins, small coins that could run really hard today if Bitcoin makes this bounce. Like, this is, I don't need to describe this if you've been watching my videos the last couple of days or not. Like, this is pretty obvious, right? You've got this trend line and Bitcoin broke it. And when it broke, there's no real attempt to bounce, right? I thought we'd get to this 111.34 area and get a reject. It doesn't even do that. It has very tight range, and today has even tighter range, right? So it's Bitcoin makes no attempt to even get back above this key resistance level and flip it into support. From a technical point of view, not looking great. But however, you know, lots of people would, of course, Bitcoin's tricky because the market makers are trying to fool all the futures traders out there. I mean, those guys are always locked in a forever battle. So we've seen Bitcoin, like, you know, basically go below support and then a few days later rip it back above again. So the next important level is to find support on is really this 107.5 level, because you've got this 108, 109 top here, but these are wicks. So this 107.5 is important. You've got like this pivot top here, bunch of bottoms here, and this bottom here. So in the last 10 months, literally, this 107.5 has been such a key level. We don't want to lose it. And of course, since we got here, I think, you know, the large exchange market makers, they will want to test you. So they will want to take the price below, right, with a wick and then rip it up if it's going to bounce. That's how I think it's going to happen. I don't think they come this close without testing it, or close below for a day and make everyone panic and then take it back up again, something like that. They can't afford to keep it below for like 3 or 4 days in a row. That's usually, you know, scares everybody, and then everybody starts selling, and then even they can't take it back anymore. So whilst the good news is that when it comes to the stock market, which, you know, for guys who've been watching my videos knows that it's a pretty good gauge for where Bitcoin and crypto is going, has been holding near its all-time highs. So as I said in the last couple of videos, yesterday's video, I was expecting a bottoming tail here, and by the close, it did form that. And then, you know, this was a kind of a gap down, small gap down, market panicked because of strong economic data, and then it came back, right? And today, Friday, it received really strong economic data, really nice economic data, as in low inflation, and the market bounced up. So I was expecting a local bottom here. It doesn't mean we go all the way up to a new all-time high, but at least a local bottom for a bounce. And that's looking good here, right? So that's actually followed the plan. On the weekly, it's not too bad either. This is a doji. Doji doesn't mean we turn down. It can mean we continue up as well. So at least, look, it's not terrible on the weekly, right? This is NASDAQ index as well. Still kind of a doji, so it's not looking terrible either, right? Like, you know, it could be like one of these weeks, or one of these weeks, right? Where the market doesn't turn down that much and just keeps on going up. We might spend another week or two going sideways and then go up, right? So not looking, at least from the chart itself, from the way it closed on the weekly, doesn't look terrible. So let's have a quick look at ETH before we move on to the narrative and coins that I'm going to be talking about today. So ETH, for example, is looking slightly stronger than Bitcoin. Weekly, we really need to get above this 40-60 level, right? On the daily, however, right, we can see that ETH is still bouncing off this this major support line. Unlike Bitcoin, hasn't broken it yet. So, okay, look, before we get on to all of that, first let's answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo He-Man use? Well, Pablo uses this exchange that's non-KYC. That means you don't need to show any ID. That means the exchange can't even see who you are. So that means the IRS can't see you, the tax office can't see you, FBI, CIA, nobody can see you, right? So that's why total privacy, Pablo made this deal with them. This is the Pablo He-Man deal with Bitunix exchange, and the exclusive to the Pablo link went up to 120,000 US dollars, right? And you get 20% bonus just by depositing. Deposit $100, get 20 US dollars. Deposit $1,000 and get $200 bonus. You get the idea, 20%. And just by being in the top 30% of the trading volume, right, win up to these prizes. So basically, limited time only, folks. This deal finishes on October 16th. And if you are watching this on YouTube right now, then the link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. But if you're watching this on some other platforms, such as this one, that's okay. Just click on my profile page, and there's my link tree or Stan link, and it should be the first deal that pops up because this is a great deal. Okay, let's get back to the markets. But remember, folks, this deal is only available on the Pablo He-Man link, exclusive only on the Pablo He-Man link. So as I was saying, ETH, we can see that it has basically not, unlike Bitcoin, has not broken down. It's basically still bouncing off this trend line. So this can actually still work. And the other thing is that, however, as I said, this 4060 area is really important because we have this pivot bottom, and it failed to, got rejected just underneath, failed to get above. It'd be nice if we can see ETH close above here, at least for the weekend, right? For this Sunday evening US time. If we were to also see this yellow channel, if we were to draw the yellow channel this way, we get a bull flag. This is, what I would call a bull flag. So this being the flagpole, this being the bull flag. So there's still a decent chance we could break up this way and have a run or wick through here, but come back for the close and then go for a run. I mean, as long as Bitcoin doesn't dump, and Bitcoin doesn't look great on the technical charts right now, so that's the problem. Okay, so what are some coins that are doing a big run right now? What are some narratives that's doing a really big run right now? Okay, I just want to show you guys the coins like this, not recommending this, just showing you what's been hot and what's been running. This is called Apex, for example, and it's been making a big run. So Apex is actually one of those coins that went to sleep like a long time ago, right? Like it basically listed here. It's actually available on Bitunix, and that's where I was buying it, right? I wanted to make a video, right? But it then just kept on going up, up, up. Like, I didn't want to make a video and everyone rush in and buy the top and then it comes down, right? Because it's been running so hard. So I've been delaying it, hoping for a pullback, but it just never comes. It's been running for like 5 days in a row. I only got like a small position in, but it's been like a 9x run from what, like 27 cents to 10x run to $2.70. So basically, what Apex is, for example, and this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, it's actually a DEX, decentralized exchange, right? Kind of like Hype, kind of like Aster, right? We all know this is a hot narrative right now because the Binance founder CZ launched Aster, which is to compete with Hype, and now all these smaller DEXs are now hot and running as well. AV&T, which is on Bitunix as well. I've made 2 calls on it and both have worked, right? Called it at 80 cents and once again at at 91 cents, and both have ran up really well. So this is Apex. Apex is another one of those, and I think it's backed by Bybit. So Binance backs the coin called Aster, right? The DEX to compete with Hype, and Bybit backs Apex. Right, so it's similar kind of idea, but look, I'm not recommending this one or anything. None of what I say is financial advice because this is already run 10x already. Like even if I was going to add to it, I would wait for a massive big pullback, maybe to a to $1 or even sub $1 or something. So here, for example, is AVNT, and once again, it's, I've been telling folks I've been buying it on Bitunix because you either go to a DEX to find these coins, or you go to a decent exchange. In this case, this one that I've been using. So here was my buy order. I was showing everyone live as I was trading this around 91 cents. Eventually went a little bit lower. And if you're on my Discord, folks who've been asking me where does it pull back to, I said, look, around this $1.40 area, because see, 50% of the retrace from its top at $2.60 is around the $1.40 area. And so far, it bounced off a $1.40 area, but because Bitcoin and ETH has been so weak, so it's come back. Like, I mean, if we have a tight stop loss, like around $1.39.38, and if we buy somewhere in the $1.40 area for a bounce, that could work. But because Bitcoin and Ethereum is so weak, the next support level, I would say, is around this $1.21 area, right? We've had a bunch of tops here and some tops around here. So, and the $1.19 is 0.382 pullback. So $1.20, $1.19 area, right? That could be the next level. When it comes to futures trading, it's just a game of odds, playing a game of risk management. So can't be 100%. It's about managing your risk and doing what's the higher probability event rather than saying, oh, it's 100% going to go to this level. So now, as we've seen, these perp dexes are really hot because of what CZ did, right, with Aster. So here is a new tiny perp dex that I've just found. I'm going to share the information with you guys, but you should do your own research as well, because none of what I say is financial advice, and this takes a lot of research to get it right. So have a look at this. This is their employees and one of their investors, right? So they're actually doxed for a small coin. They're doxed. So here is their CEO. Come on, it's asking me to get verified. Jesus. And by the way, none of what I say here is sponsored. I'm not sponsored by any of these coins that I talk about in this episode. I legally declare I'm not sponsored, okay? So this is a coin that I just found. So basically the founder is from Dubai, and he gives some background on where he used to work previously, founding partner at TerraSurge Capital, right? This is his track record if you want to go through it, right? Basically the 7 investments that he's made in the past. And also, we could click on the other guys who are in the organization. Here's also one of the founders. This is an English guy from London, but he lives in the Middle East right now. So I guess that's how they met. He's the founder. Facebook, LinkedIn. So yeah, there's a number of at least we can say then it's not hugely likely. Geez. It's not hugely. You guys can go ahead and do the due diligence. I've clicked into it. From what I can see, this guy looks okay. I mean, it's about because in his LinkedIn page, right? He docs himself with his government ID, right? So that's what I've seen once I click into LinkedIn. And also this guy, their advisor investor, is a guy called Paul Taylor. Very interesting, this Paul Taylor guy. Look at this. He used to work for, I'm sure I've seen it just a second ago. He's American. He used to work for, let me just find this. So as we can see here, he used to work for BlackRock, right? Fancy Studios, haven't heard of it, chief strategy officer. But he was called a private equity partners at BlackRock from Gen 18 to 2022. So for 4 years, he was working at BlackRock. So that's something. These are all real people. And he holds 13 board and advisor positions. All these look like crypto boards. So it's not like it's undoxed. So the coin that I'm talking about is this one called Valor, and we can see it made like a huge pop today, but then also came back to just 40047 area. And the thing about it is, look, market cap only 280K, but total market cap is 4.8 million, which is still pretty small for a DEX, right? When you consider how much some of those other DEX is running up to, like, Aventus, like I just showed you guys, and also the ones even like Apex. So if we put it on a daily chart, it's actually really, really sunk, like massive bear market winter. Look at this, right? Since it launched, it's basically just gone straight down, and now it's had a big pop, but we're still only down here. That's the log chart. Look at the natural chart. It's basically like this, right? So if it can start running again, even to like some of those exchanges, right, easily run to 200 mil, 300 mil, 1 billion, whatever. If this can even run to 200 mil, that's 50x from here, right? So I'm not saying will. Look, these are obviously shit coins, super risky. So let's have a look at that DeFi Llama. DeFi Llama for Velar protocol basically says it has 1.1 mil total value locked. So that's not terrible for a coin that's got a 4 mil FDV. It used to have, last year, used to have around 4 mil, like all this time, it have around 3 to 4 mil total value locked. That's pretty good, but then market value just tanked. Here is the perp dex itself. If we were to click on it, so that's itself. You guys can check it out, like Velar, the website. And apparently, they mostly just trade Bitcoin and STX, which is a layer 2 on Bitcoin. Because, oh yeah, I got to tell you guys, this is a perp dex that is actually settles on the Bitcoin chain. So which means it'll be slow. But they says it's got Bitcoin finality, so which means security is high, I guess, because it's on the most secure decentralized network in the world, right? So, but is that an advantage? I guess I'm probably more worried about speed than security when it comes to, perp dex trades. But I've spoken to people who work at perp dexes, right? As you know, I know a few of them. They tell me that 80%, 70% of their trading volume most of the time is in Bitcoin. So if Velar covers Bitcoin, then that covers like 70%, 80% of the coins available. Yeah, it doesn't have Solana, it doesn't have Ethereum, doesn't have BNB. For now, if it becomes a hot DEX, if it kicks back into gear again, I'm sure they can add it. Right, it's not that difficult, but even Bitcoin would cover 80% because 80% of the trades just happen on Bitcoin. So that's my research for today. I hope you guys do go ahead and do some of your own research. But certainly, what we can see is that these perp dexes are still really hot, and basically it's if Bitcoin doesn't dump, even if Bitcoin and ETH just bounce along here, doesn't need a big move up, as long as it doesn't crash, then these perp dexes can do really well. It is possible that once again, they've run out of momentum, then they rotate to another narrative. That can always happen, right? I mean, these days, it's a super tough market. Who knows? But as long as these perp dexes are running, so this Velar coin could do well. All right. Thank you for your time, folks. Not financial advice. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you next episode.